I love small little baubles in Magic. 1 or 0 mana artifacts that don't really do a whole lot but can be useful. In fact, I like them so much that my whole channel is named after the Trinket Mage card, which just tutors up baubles. Urza Saga is another card that also tutors up little trinkets. I decided to name the list after that because I feel like more people play Saga than the Trinket Mage. Anyway, here are my top 10 targets for Urza Saga and also the Trinket Mage. And for this list, I'm ignoring fast mana. Me telling you that Sol Ring and Mana Crypt are good Magic cards isn't very insightful. So those and also Mana Vault or any Mox will not show up on this top 10 list. Alright, coming in at number 10, I have Welding Jar, one of my absolute favorites. If you're an artifact deck, getting Jar early can set up whatever big haymaker you have to not get removed immediately. And being able to untap with your big finisher is often a good way to close out a game. Number 9 is Spellbook. Some decks just really want to have a full hand, especially control decks that like to draw a lot of cards. I'm looking at you, any Simic value pile. And Spellbook is just one of the best options to have no max hand size. Number 8 is Hope of Ghirapur. I feel like a lot of people forget that Saga can get creatures. Hope lets you set up for a win. This card is really annoying. Basically, you can just attack the blue player and sacrifice it, silence them for a turn, and go off without having to worry about counter magic. At number 7, I got another great creature, Haywire Might. This creature can not only gain life, but it exiles a non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. Exiling as part of the removal is incredibly useful, and the fact that you gain a little bit of life is just icing on the cake. At number 6, I got Retrofitter Foundry, a really underrated value card. It makes tokens by itself, and if you need, you can upgrade those tokens. With the untap ability, it also is an infinite mana outlet that can be used as a great finisher. Plus, if you have any other Thopter production, being able to upgrade those into 4/4 constructs is really good. Also, a bit off topic for this video, but this card really needs a reprint. Other than a Judge promo, it's only seen one printing, and that was in a pre-con like 5 years ago. Number 5 is Aether Spellbomb. This is a personal favorite of mine. Bouncing a creature using an artifact's activated ability is really good, especially since that's hard to counter or stop. Spellbomb being an on-board unsummon might seem bad, but I actually really like it for its political usage. If you have something like that out, people usually don't want their stuff getting bounced, and you can often get people to attack other players by just having one in play. And in a pinch, if you really want, it can draw a card. Number 4, I got Meekstone, which stops creatures with power 3 or greater from untapping. This card is backbreaking for some decks, and I think this card is also really underplayed. I don't see it enough in like token decks or just any deck that's reliant on smaller utility creatures. But also if you're like walls or something like that, it's really good. In the right deck, Meekstone can be very much one-sided and really powerful. Number 3 is Skull Clamp. This card is incredibly powerful in the right deck. If you're any type of token deck or sacrifice deck, getting Clamp is probably going to be the best option most of the time. The only reason Skull Clamp isn't higher on the deck is that it's not an all-star in every single deck. Many decks can't make good use of Skull Clamp, but it is really powerful in the right build. Number 2 is Esper Sentinel. I mean, this card is so good. Do I even need to sell anyone on this? An early Sentinel is so good, I could definitely see tutoring it up off of your turn 1 Saga, potentially winning the game with that early card advantage. And at number 1, Soul Guide Lantern. This is one of the best Graveyard Hate cards out there. Not only does it exile each opponent's graveyard, which can be really clutch, but after it enters, it just exiles one thing. So if you want, you can just exile one reanimation target and then draw a card afterwards. This card is incredibly flexible, and since every deck needs a way to deal with graveyards, I think this is an auto include in many decks, and especially in any deck with Urza Saga. So those are my 10 favorite tutor targets. But what are yours? There are a lot of other great, useful baubles that really didn't make the cut, but just barely. Let me know some of your favorites in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more.